going to learn about basic HTML tags, and using these basic HTML tags, today we are going to create our first very web page. And the first very web page, the topic that I have taken is water conservation. So after this class, you will understand the basic structure of an HTML document, that is your web page, and you will learn a few basic tags that we are going to use to create this web page. That is going to be the H1 tag, the image tag, and the P tag. We will look in detail what these tags do. And using these tags, we are going to create a simple and attractive web page. So this is the HTML code, but before going explaining this code and before writing the code, let me show you the output, how your web page is going to be looking. So to create our web page, we are using the platform called as codepen.io. It is a very easy platform wherein you can see that the three files that are used to create a web page are embedded in the same interface. So we have the HTML file, we have the CSS file, and we have the JavaScript file. Today, as we are building our very first web page and we are learning only about the basic HTML tags, we will be using only the HTML file. So when I run the code, you can see the preview. So this is the water conservation preview. Now as you can see, the image, I'm not getting the image here. So to get the image, let me just put water conservation image, and let me take this image. I'll right click on the image and I'll take copy image address. Go back to your code, and in the image tag, we'll, we'll paste the code that we have got. Okay. Now let me refresh it again, and you can see that the image is here. Okay, now let us look into this web page and let us create a new pen. Okay, so let me go let me click on the home button, and we'll create a new pen now. Okay, now as you can see that in this folder we have three files: HTML file, JavaScript file, and the CSS files. So every project that you create is going to have these three files. Now this is the pre-written code which we don't require, but yes, the structure is going to remain the same for all the code. But let us today learn the structure also. So the first line that you always have in the HTML document is doc type HTML. Now what does this line mean? Doc type HTML. Okay, now this line means that it is telling the browser that the code that we have written is an HTML document. So it is easy for the browser to display the web page correctly. Okay, then because it is an HTML document, we'll open the tag HTML. Okay, now this is, as you can see, we have an opening tag and a closing tag. So whatever we are going to write inside the HTML tag is going to be represented in our web page. Okay, now the first After the HTML tag, you have the head tag. Now the HTML page, when you open a web page, like for example, I will just open a web page. Let me say wikipedia.com. Okay, it is a web page. Now this is also a, so let me open a Wikipedia page on, let's say, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, now see here, when I open this page, so whatever you can see at the bottom, the content of the page, okay, this this is the body of the HTML, and the head part is something that is not visible, directly visible to the user. Okay, so this is the head. Basically, this is the head part. Okay, wherein all your links, all the CSS file, all the CSS part, the the website that gets linked to the other page, your website, if it is getting linked to other pages, all that appears in the title part, that appears in the head part. So first let us give a title to our HTML page. So let me open in the head region, I'll open the title tag. Okay, and the title, I'm as you know, my project name is water conservation. You can create any project. Okay, the head tag is already closed. Okay, now I'm going to create the content of my HTML page. So to the content of the HTML page will be in the body tag. Okay, now first I want to have a title here. Okay, so the title of the page I'm going to put in H1. We have 6 headers, so the H1 header is has the largest font, and the boldness also is more compared to all the 6. So I'm using the H1 tag, and the title is going to be water conservation. Okay, now as you remember, if you remember, we after the title, let us put a review. So this is our title here. Now I need an image. So to put an image in my website, I'm going to use the image tag, img tag. Now after writing img, I will put an attribute called as source. Source means from where am I taking the image. So I'm going to, what you can do is you can select any image from Google, and you can, like for example, if you like this image, right click on the image and you can go to copy image address, go back to your code, in double quotes paste the image address. Okay, and there is one more attribute called as alt means, just in case if your image is not, if it is not loading, then it will display a text. So let me say that the text is water, save water. Okay, now let us see how it represents. If you can see, I've got my image here, but it is too huge. So what I'll do is I'll write one more attribute, that is the width attribute, so that I can reduce the width, and the width will be, let's say, 400. Okay, so yeah, now it, so you can adjust the width and height of your image. Okay, Now below the image I want to write a paragraph on water conservation. So I'm going to use the P tag, and then whatever paragraph you want to write, like we should save water, should save water. It is it is it is the most valuable resource. Okay, so yeah, whatever you want to write in the paragraph you can write, and the paragraph is being displayed here. Okay, and now what you have to do is close all the tags that we have to make sure that all the tags that we have opened are closed. So let us just recheck. The P tag has been closed. Image tag, if you want, you can close it, or it's the closing tag is not important. H1 tag is closed, the body tag is closed, and our HTML tag is closed. So using these basic HTML tags, we have created our first very simple and attractive web page.